Good day, everyone. My name is Rishabh Goyal. I am the Executive Director for Goyam Screw Press, a company based in India dealing in edible oil extraction, solvent, and refinery projects. So I will be covering Goyam Company's projects in Sub-Saharan Africa, particularly relating to soya bean. So let me start the presentation here. First, we start with the introduction of the company. We started in 1971, and in the last 49 years, we have successfully commissioned over 450 projects worldwide. Our company is 9001 2015 and 14001 2015 certified company. We are certified by CE, which allows us to export our equipments to Europe and North America. We are turnkey plant and machinery suppliers in edible oil and fats, oleochemicals, and used engine oil sector. Goyam Screw Press is a 100% export-oriented company. We are currently exporting to 54 countries worldwide. We are also recognized by government of India as an export powerhouse. The recent developments done by our company is we have developed a cluster, which is an association of oil expeller and its parts manufacturing enterprises. In that, what we have done is the government of India has granted an aid of to the tune of $2 million, which has allowed us to import world-class latest machineries from North Korea, so from South Korea and Japan. And the investment has been done by the government of India, and the whole investment is done by the government, and the land has been provided by the association. So this is a recent development done by our company. We have a vast network of international representatives. We have about 30 representatives who are marketing our products, partnering with us in various parts. Most of the representatives are based in Africa and Europe. We are also a registered supplier of United Nations agencies. We have been doing some projects with United Nations in Western Africa and North Africa. We have a fully equipped in-house manufacturing facility to undertake manufacturing of equipment with precision engineering under the eyes of a qualified team. We have a very qualified team of professionals who have vast experience in developing edible oil presses. These are some of the certificates which we have got from the government, from private as well as government agencies. We are members with the Solvent Extraction Association. It is one of the most recognized and premier associations in India for solvent. We are also part of the chamber, the Engineering Exports Promotion Council, the Federation of Indian and Exports Organization. So we are members of all the premium institutes in India. These are our business verticals which we are dealing in. The major business focus of our company is in oil pressing, mechanical oil press. Then we are also providing equipments for seed cleaning, seed preparatory. We are providing solvent extraction plant, complete turnkey projects for Africa. We have recently done a project in Tanzania and recently doing a project in Mali as well. Then we are providing edible oil, cooking oil refining plants. Then the vertical goes to oleochemical plants, palm oil fractionation, esterification, and hydrogenation. We have also diversified into used engine oil refining. With the change of times, there is growing demand for recycling. So in order to be adaptable to this change, we have now developed machineries for used engine oil refinery as well. We have collaborations with rice milling, flour mill companies, animal feed plant manufacturers. As in Africa, most of the businessmen in Africa, they know the business plan, but they do not know which company to trust on and which company to source their equipments from. So we are providing rice mill, flour mill, and fish feed plants as well. Other equipments like crystallizer, which form part of the edible oil refinery, deodorizers, boilers, which form as auxiliaries for the extraction as well as the refining plant. We are doing that as well. Now moving on to the soybean oil extraction process particularly. This is some of the detailed literature on soybean. It is, as we all know, it's the oldest cultivated plant in the world. People have been using this for 4,000 years. It's a high value material for animal feed and for human consumption, for human food production. It contains 42% protein and 25% oil. Soya needs special processing. Most of the companies in India, what they are good at is processing of cottonseed oil or sunflower, groundnut. But soya needs special processing, as it has, reason being it has anti-nutrients. Soybeans are processed for different purposes and with use of different. So Goyam from India offers effective solution for soybean processing, and it all starts with the preparation of raw material itself. So moving on to the process, soybean dehulling. So we are providing soybean dehullers, the cleaned soybean which are removed from any kind of impurities and are then dried up to 8% levels, are fed into the dehullers. Here, soybeans are compressed between the first pair of rollers, and as a result of that, the shells burst and the soya kernels break up into several parts. The mixture of soya kernels and hulls move to the transportation system and air separator. So soya shells, they are lighter in specific weight. So when the airflow moves, the husk moves up and passing through the cyclone. As a result, this process reduces the amount of fiber and increases the fraction of protein mass and improves the oil yield. The soybean kernels are then discharged from the air separator and fed into the extruder. Dehulling is done to increase the protein content in the oiled cake, or also known as de-oiled cake (DOC). After the dehulling process, the processed soya is then put into the extruder. So we are one of the few companies in India which produce complete soybean processing line. That is, we are making dehullers, we are making extruders, we are making presses, and the cake cooler as well. I'll explain in detail about the other two equipment. After the soybean is processed from the dehuller, it is going to the extruder. So the feedstock is conveyed forward by the screw inside the extruded barrel. Due to the high shear, it is then compressed, mixed, and heated. The soya is processed in less than 30 seconds under the great pressure and high temperature. So any kind of harmful substances which are present are destroyed in this process when the temperature inside the chamber or the barrel is 130 to 140 degrees Celsius. At the same time, protein and fat do not lose their property due to the short time of cooking of the product. Our extruders are based on dry extrusion method. The heat is developed by friction. And what we have got now is a full fat soy meal with the help of screw feeder. Then this feed is being fed into the mechanical oil press. So I would like to particularly focus that our machines are probably the only company machines from India, or you can say Southeast Asia, which can process soybean and give world-class results acceptable for all acceptable for the world market. So our machine are performing very well in India as well as in sub-Saharan Africa as well. So the mechanical oil extraction in the oil process is the third point. The full fat soya meal is then moved along the press cage and is squeezed and pressed. And due to this high pressure, the oil seeps out through the press cage gaps and is gathered into the oil reservoir below. What we are getting is a pressed cake with an oil content of about 6 to 6.5% and a temperature ranging between 110 to 120 degrees Celsius. So what we have done after extrusion is we have extracted the edible oil, soya oil present in the soybeans, and got soybean oil cake. After this process, the cooling of the oil cake is an important part. I want to point out that the trypsin inhibitors is removed by the extrusion already. So there is no need for heating by the dry extrusion already. Whereas in case of other oil pressing, like in case of groundnut, sunflower, you need to provide steam before you press the oil seed. Whereas in case of soybean, all you need down. It can't be packed as it is. as the temperature of the oil is about 110 to 120 degrees Celsius. So the oil cake, after passing from the hammer mill, is fed into the cooler. The cooler tumbler rotates and steers the oil cake down to the discharge section. The fan creates a flow of air through the soya oil cake. Heat exchange occurs between the cold air and the hot soya oil cake. So after the cake has been discharged in the cooler, its temperature is roughly 40 to 50 degrees Celsius lower than the temperature what it had at the time of feeding. So the oil cake, having its temperature at least 50 degrees lower than its feeding temperature, can be stored, and typically it can be stored. Online cooling is also required. Online cooling is required for online bagging so that stacking can be done. So these are the four basic steps which can get the perfect ingredient to be used in feed industry. Only mechanical pressing can get oil, high protein and soya cake. In conclusion, let me remind you that high temperature and short time cooking is the key to successful soybean processing. Using our technology, it's available and it's a reliable technology. So these are majorly we are marketing our products in. We are basically marketing our products in sub-Saharan countries. Like when you say sub-Saharan, we are starting from Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, Tanzania. Then if we move towards the west coast of Africa, we are working in Senegal, Mali, Togo, Benin, Ghana, Burkina, Cameroon. All these countries, there are businessmen who are using our processes, our plants on soybean processing. We have done projects in Zambia as well, in Mozambique as well for soybean processing. So particularly talking about our experience in sub-Saharan Africa, we started our journey in year 2000 from Uganda. So in terms of exports, we have been exporting since 20 years now. This is the 20th year of export of our company. So we have had a great experience in sub-Saharan Africa for 2 decades now. We started with Uganda in 2000, and then subsequently we ventured in Tanzania, Zambia, and Mozambique. And most of the projects, I remind you that about 30 to 40% of the projects are based on soybean, and the project capacities are not of major like 200 tons or 500 tons per day. They are basically medium scale capacities, 50 tons per day or 100 tons per day maximum. So we're working in all the East Africa region of Tanzania, Zambia, and Mozambique. In North Africa also, we have done turnkey projects in Sudan, Ethiopia, Egypt. In West Africa, we have been working in Burkina Faso, Mali, Senegal, Ivory Coast, Nigeria. Some of the countries, some of the entrepreneurs in these countries, they are using machines on multiple seeds. So one season, the availability of soybean is there, the harvest is good. So they're working the machines on soybean. Next season, when 3 months down the line, they feel demand for cotton seed or the sunflower seed is increasing. So they're moving to the sunflower and other crops as well. All in all, we have done in terms of exports, we have turnkey for edible oil extraction, refining, solvent, out of which we can say about 31 projects, 10% of the projects are primarily working on soybean. So it's a highly specific seed, and due to which the process is also highly specific. And there are few companies. There are companies in China, in America, in Europe, which are providing full processing line for soya, mechanical processing line for soya. But in India, I can say that Goyam is one of the few companies which has given complete turnkey working, successfully working plants in most of the cases. Most of the projects in soya, I want to focus, they are working on 50 to 150 tons of capacity. The reason being is most of the African sub-Saharan economies, they are basically of a population range of about 20 million, 40 million, 50 million people. And the crop size are also not very huge. So they need to be made sure that if they put a plant, let's say of 50 ton capacity, they should be able to work maximum time, at least 300 days a year. So to do that, they do not go in for a 300 ton or a 500 ton project because the feasibility is not there. The crop size is very small, so they can't afford that. Putting a 500-ton plant, they need to procure 500 tons of soybean every day, which is a difficult task in sub-Saharan countries. So most of the projects which we have done are ranging between 50 to 150 ton capacity, which is a feasible capacity to work on for those businessmen, entrepreneurs. They can procure 50 tons of soybean from their sources and get a feasible return on their investment. Let me move on to the next slide. This is the detail about extraction for soybean, which I have already detailed. Then the process comes for refinery, solvent extraction, and animal feed. So these are the other verticals in this line. Soybean intake. So I'll like to show you some photographs of our manufacturing facility. We are based in Ludhiana, Punjab, and we are completely in-house manufacturing, which we are making here. The presses, extruders, coolers, dehullers, and hammer mill, they are all made in-house. Nothing has been procured from any other sources. So we have an excellent manufacturing facility equipped with all the latest machines. Like I said last, we have procured machineries from South Korea and Japan as well. So we have a skilled team of engineers who are dedicated to provide good quality equipment, and we have a long experience. So the experience helps us to market our product and to provide good after sales service to our customers as well. So these are the few glimpses of our manufacturing facility which we do here in India. These presses on your right of the screen are all for soybean processing. They can work on soybean, on sunflower, on groundnut, cottonseed, on multi-seeds, palm kernel as well. These are the manufacturing facility we have. These equipment are for solvent extraction plant, which we are now doing in Mali. A project, we have grabbed an order from Mali for Shia and soybean. Also, there is a project. These equipments are also for soybean, so refinery and solvent, which we are doing in Kano now for Nigeria. So there's a growing demand in North Africa as well as Western Africa. Sub-Saharan Africa, my personal point is that due to this COVID-19 pandemic, more and more economies, more and more businessmen are now focusing on self-sufficiency rather than being dependent on imports. More and more businessmen and governments are focusing how can they make themselves self-sustainable. So we are looking at now, we are getting inquiries from people who were earlier importing soybean oil or sunflower oil from Ukraine or from Brazil, Argentina, and now they're looking into venturing and putting their own factories for edible oil processing. So at least one good thing I can say from COVID-19 pandemic is that the businessmen are thinking inwards, trying to integrate themselves rather than being dependent on imports. So that's why we feel companies like ours have a good opportunity to work in sub-Saharan Africa. We have a long experience there. We have a good team of professionals there who are working tirelessly. So that helps us to market our equipments as well. These are again some photographs of our equipment getting ready in our factory. Again, photographs. So these are some of the technological highlights, and we focus on providing maximum efficiency. So luckily we are in Punjab, and we do not have any labor issues or any kind of these kind of issues. So which allows us to work full time, 24 hours a day. We are working in double shift, 7 days a week. So we are quite efficient, which helps us to provide all the equipments in a stipulated time. So what happens in sub-Saharan Africa particularly is the delays happen because of bureaucracy and red tape. So to counter that, we have a hugely efficient team in India who make sure that whatever we commit to our customers in Africa, we deliver on time. So our equipments are also, they consume lesser electricity, so the utility consumption is reduced. They provide better performance on the reduced utility. Our process costs are also reduced because of this, and we are using advanced technology, so this helps us to reduce the downtime as well. So I would like to give you an example that if a competitor company They are selling a machine in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, and the shelf life of the parts is like 1,000 hours. Whereas in our case, our equipment, the same part lasts for 5,000 hours. So you're looking at like 5 times more time limit. So you can run the machine for 5,000 hours without any stoppage or breakdown, and it reduces your downtime. It increases your productivity. By that helps us to market our product as well, and that increases the confidence of our customers as well on us, that the Goem's machine, they'll be satisfied that okay, I can work 300 days a year without any undue delays or stoppage of machines to repair and maintain. So that's an advantage in choosing Goem. These are the competitive advantages we have, they are mentioned in the previous slide as well: the design and the maintenance costs, reliability, the ease of operation as well. These are the photographs of some of the projects we have done. As you know, India is also a huge soybean producing state. So we have done a complete soybean edible oil extraction plant of 400 tons per day. It is operational in India and working very nicely here. The demand for soybean oil processing previously, 3 years back, it was all solvent extraction. But due to the American and Chinese trade war, the tariffs and all, it has led to increasing demand for soybean cake in Europe and Canada and North America. So what is happening is Indian processors, Indian solvent extraction companies, they're now putting their own they are now putting their own mechanical extraction projects. They are scrapping the solvent plants and putting mechanical extraction processes. And whatever cake is being coming out, they are all being exported from India to Europe and North America. So this is a that is what has helped us. And similarly, this thing has helped us in sub-Saharan Africa as well. The demand from soya cake from sub-Saharan Africa is food. So many of our customers in West Africa and North Africa, they are using this facility to export equipments, export soybean cake. These are our soybean oil process machines abroad. We have done in USA as well, in Nebraska, and we have done in Australia also, New South Wales, just in outskirts of Sydney. We have done 2 projects. Soybean solvent extraction. We have also done projects for soybean solvent extraction in the past, and currently we are doing. These are some of the pictures of the projects which we have done in Africa, and on the right, the picture we have done in India. The projects are under installation. As I told you, because of COVID-19 pandemic, more and more businessmen, business houses are moving towards manufacturing to integrate their supply chain, backward integration. So we have got good orders for extraction, solvent extraction, as well as refinery and mechanical oil pressing. So we are doing currently project in Kano, Nigeria. We are doing in Mali, Sub-Saharan Africa. So the order book is quite full. The refinery installation is also going on in Tanzania. Dar es Salaam, we are doing a soybean oil refinery. It is also under operation. These are the few photographs of the feed factories. So we have done a project in Uganda recently for a company, and they are working on fish feed and animal feed. They are using soybean cake, and it's a 10 ton per hour capacity plant, completely supplied, machinery erected, installed, run, design, everything is done by our company. And it's a complete turnkey project, very nicely installed project. And they have even planning to make enhancement in this line. So we are in discussion with them. So this is also a project done by our company in Uganda. These are some of the awards and achievements. So since we are in the business for past 50 years and in exports for 20 years, so company who are dealing in exports are bound to have some kind of accolades from the associations and from the society. So India Mart is a very renowned portal in India. They have awarded us in year 2012, 8 years back, for having good policies and taxation and bookkeeping. And we are also among India's top 500 SMEs. This year, they gave us this recognition. The government of India has also recognized our efforts to boost exports for agricultural machineries to Africa. So they have also awarded us in year 2010. We have been awarded the Economic Development Award by the Forum in 2009. These are some of the credentials of the company, which we have got ISO CE DNB certificates. He's the chairman of the company, Mr. Vinod Jain, and he's the founder of the company 20 years back. He's the one who started and ventured into Uganda, and been since then it's a joyride. There has only been growth in the past 20 years, and we hope that the company grows from this end also. Uh, these are the details of the project. So we are totally based in Ludhiana. It is called as the Manchester of India. So the manufacturing is good here. There are a lot of companies, lot of professional brains are there. So we have about 400 different units in Ludhiana, and we have an area of about 30,000 square meters covered area, where have we all these 4 manufacturing facility. 2 units we have in outskirts to manufacture our refinery and solvent equipments. As they are volumetric equipment, they need some space. So I would like to just introduce my colleague, Mr. Jeevan Joshi. He is an expert in oil refining and solvent. So he will just share some notes with you for solvent extraction process, which we have done in Africa, in sub-Saharan Africa particularly. Okay.
Greetings of the day to all of you. So here I would like to come back to our presentation slide of the soybean oil extraction with turnkey solutions. When we are talking about the turnkey solutions, so it starts from the soybean intake inside the factory. When the soybean is coming inside the factory, the first and foremost thing is to get the proper intake of the soybean and to have a very proper pre-cleaning section for the soybean. So for choosing the correct machinery for doing the pre-cleaning of the same, we need to choose the correct equipment with the correct capacities, because the intake is dependent upon the truck size of the particular country. Like the 35 metric ton is the total truck capacity. So we have to decide that in how many hours we are going to do the offloading of the truck, and how many trucks we are going to handle in 1 hour or 2 hours. So the capacities of the same can be decided with respect to that. Okay. Now, the second thing is, once we are done with the pre-cleaning, it is our next step is to lift those soybean to the storage silos, the grain silos. Now, to choose the optimum grain silo is also again a important thing. Here in India, we are manufacturing, we have done the partnership with our sister concern companies who are making the silos, and we are all in our Goyams, all the silos we are using the zinc-aluminum steel, and we have already installed more than 25 silos until yet in various soybean factories. After storage of the silo storage is also being calculated depending upon the number of days you want to have the storage for. Like if you want to have the storage for 15 days, then the capacity of the silos will be calculated as per that. If you would like to have for the more number of days of storage, then it will be calculated as per that. Okay. Now, the third thing comes for the post cleaning. Now the post cleaning will be done for the soybean. After that, the next step comes as the preparation of the seed. Now the preparation of seed depends upon what kind of final product we want to make. Like if we want to make the full fat soya meal, then we need not to go for the dry extrusion. Then we can go for the wet extrusion as well. And if we want to extract the oil by the mechanical method, then we have to go for the dry extrusion. We can't go with the wet extrusion, because if we will go with the wet extrusion, the moisture content will be very high in that. It can go more than 12%. And if the moisture content goes more than 12%, then it is very hard to extract the oil out of it. And it is very hard to get rid of the moisture from the wet extruded material. So it is the best process in order to make the full fat soya meal. But when we are going to extract the oil out of it, then we can go with the dry extrusion. The third option is when we are going at a very high commercial scale of 1500 metric ton or 3000 metric tons per day capacity, then in that case, we need not to go for the extrusions. We can go directly with the soya preparation. In the soya preparation, we have the means after post cleaning, we have the dehulling, we have the partial dehulling as well, and we have the full hot dehulling as well. The full hot dehulling, when we are doing, that is called the full complete dehulling, and that full dehulling is increasing the capacity, increasing the okay, I'm just closing it very fast. So dehulling, as Mr. Rishabh has told, that we have hot dehulling also, and the partial dehulling as well. So means my purpose was for telling this all in brief detail, that the Goyam has a part to do the complete turnkey solution from the intake to the product and end products. So I hope our presentation is went off. So now we can start with the question and answer session. If anyone have any questions, we are here to address the same. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We want to get started on the Q&A. I think we'll be bringing the rest of our speakers back.